Hey everybody, we're going to talk about how to make a Google Slides slideshow presentation for our artwork today. We're going to start with Google Slides on a laptop or a PC, but I'll also talk about how to do these things on an iPad as well. When you first get to Google Slides, it might look something like this. Click on Go to Google Slides, and once it's open, double check that you are logged into your BG account up here. It should say your first initial, your last name, and then @bghscloud.org. If you've never made a slideshow before, you won't see any of these items down here. This will just be blank. What you'll do is go up to this top area where you can hit this plus button to create a new blank presentation. A blank presentation looks something like this. Over on the right side, you can see there are themes. You can go for something really crazy or something more simple and pared down. I like the dark background, but you can choose whatever you like from over here. This first page you see over on the left is your title page. You can create your title here. You can put a first name, last name. You could write what your project was. Any of that information that you need right up front can go on this page. But generally, we don't need to put any of our images on this first page. We'll put those in the content pages later on. Now, if you want to add more pages, all you have to do is go to this little plus sign right up here. When I hit this little plus sign, it automatically adds a new page, but I can hit the little arrow next to the plus sign that lets me choose what type of layout I want. So if you want just a little bit of text on your page, and then you also want to have your image or images filling up a good portion of the page, something like this box might work out well. And so I could add that. It's just got the one text box. If I click inside the text box, I can use these boxes over here on the left, right, top, and bottom to make it as big or as wide as I want it to be. I can bring it down to the bottom. I can fill up an entire side with it. You can put this wherever you want. Editing the text in your box is just as simple as doing it in anything else. You'll see the tools up at the top, and you'll see that anything I want to do to it, like change the font, change the size, make it bold, italic, underlined, all of those things are right here in my choices. If you don't see something that you want to use, it might be in this little more section with the three little dots. Just click on that and you'll see some other options. You're going to upload your pictures, and you can do that a couple of different ways. My favorite way is just to make sure that the images that I want are already on my desktop, either saved to a folder or just listed there, and then we can drag and drop them in. Google makes that really easy for us, especially when you're using the Chrome browser on either your laptop or on your iPad. When you want to save this slideshow, you're going to go up and make sure to give it a name first. If you already have something on your first slide, you just have to click on that untitled presentation name, and it'll immediately pop in whatever you've called your first line of your title. If you want to call it something else, though, you can certainly add to it or change it. If you're going to be using the iPad to edit your Google Slides slideshow, it's best to get the app. You can download it for free from the App Store. You can see I have it right here at the bottom. It looks like a little yellow page. Click on that app and open up the slides. In here you can see anything that I've already started or am making. Here I have my Jungle Fort slideshow that I've already started on the computer. If I hit the back button, you can also create new documents. The bottom right-hand corner, there's that same little plus button that you use when you're on the computer. Here it'll ask you if you want to use a new presentation. I do in this case. And in this case, it asks you for the name first. So we're going to title our presentation. I'm going to call it Mr. Calkins Junk Drawer. And hit create. Most of the things are going to be pretty much the same on your iPad as they are on the computer. Depending upon which one you use, you'll just find your tools in different places. So here, if we want to add a new slide, you can see it's at the very bottom left-hand corner. If I click on that, it gives me all those choices of what I want to add, so I can choose something like this. And when I want to edit my slides, just like it says there, I need to double tap to add that. I have all the same tools that I had before. I could make something bold, I could make it right justified or centered, I could change the color if I want. You've got all of the same tools here. If you want to add an image to your slideshow, you can do that very easily, especially if your photos are already in your photo roll. There's a little plus sign right up at the top. You click on that. You can choose Image. You can choose From Photos. And it'll open up your photo roll and you can see the images that you've already taken. I'm going to choose an image that I have from my junk drawer and add it to my slideshow. You can also resize by grabbing corners or the sides, but I generally wouldn't recommend grabbing from the side because that's going to stretch out your images, which we don't want to do. We want to keep them proportionate to the shape that they were. Always grab from the corners so that an image does not get skewed or stretched when you're changing the size. You can crop images right here in the slideshow app. The crop tool is right up here at the top when you have an image selected. I just click on that, and then these little black edges here are going to allow me to crop out parts of my image if I want to cut it down. Just like with the computer, as long as you're signed in with your bghscloud.org account, it will save everything that you're doing as you're doing it. So, up at the top, you'll see a check mark. When I'm done with what I want to work on for now, I just hit that button. Everything will be saved in my Google Drive or in Google Slides when I go back to that logged in as me with my BGHS Cloud account. At this point, if I want to start adding images to my slideshow, what I need to do is go find them. I think the easiest thing to do is organize them first, get them on your desktop, get them in your photo roll, wherever you can get to them very easily, and then you're just going to drag and drop them in. If I want to start adding some of my fort images, which I have right here, I can just take it from this folder that I've got on my desktop and drag it and drop it. Again, resizing is just a matter of grabbing from the corners. Don't grab from the top or the sides, because the corners will allow you to shrink and resize your images in proportion. I wouldn't recommend putting more than about 3 to 4 images on a slide. If you put more than 4 images on a slide, they start to get very, very small, and even at a full-size presentation, you're not going to see much of the detail in your image. Especially for images that you're really happy with, I would make sure that you just fill up the entire slide as best you can with the images that you really like. On this slide, I'm just going to be filling it with one of my favorite photos of me in the fort. This is as large as you'd want this image for this slide. You could put it on the right, you could put it on the left, you can center it, but don't make it any larger than this by stretching it out and making it skewed or warped. This is no good. This is better. And then you've got extra room, if you'd like, to add your other commentary or notes or thoughts as you were working on your images. Each slideshow is going to contain at least 12 images. If images aren't quite as important, you can put more than one per slide. You're also going to be adding some text to each slide, so make sure to leave a little bit of room for that as you go. This first slide, I'm going to put a few of my intro pictures, the pictures of me starting my fort. So I'm going to drag and drop them from a spot on my desktop. I'm going to resize them and put them in places that I like. And then wherever you have some space left over or need to create some space, you're going to write what you were thinking or what you were doing as you were taking these photos. You may have already done some process images showing what you were doing as you were doing it, but tell us your thoughts behind the photos as you were going. You can see here that my text doesn't fit, so I either need to change it to a different location, perhaps further over on the left, or I can take my images and resize them slightly so that my text does fit. Even if you're not happy with an image, try to tell us what you thought about it. Maybe why did that one not work out? Or what wasn't so great about that? Why did you think it might be better? Or what were you hoping for when you were taking the picture, even if it didn't quite turn out that way? Once you have a slideshow that includes all 12 of your images, you don't even have to save this, because if you are logged in as you with your bghscloud.org account, you've saved it automatically to your Google Drive. So anytime you go back to Google Slides or you go to your Google Drive and hit Recent, you'll see this document right there. What we will do next is import our Google Slideshow to Shobi. First, go to my.shobi.com. You're going to choose your class. I'm going to go down here to one of my fake classes. You're going to find the correct assignment. We'll just use this perfect pattern one. And then when you get here, you should see the write a comment up at the top, post next to that, and a plus sign next to that. When you hit the plus sign, one of your choices should be Add from Drive. Once you click on Add from Drive, you should see your slideshow right there, especially if it's one of the most recent things you've just worked on. Click on that, hit Select. Shobi will start uploading it. If it pauses or you have some other issue with that, it could be an issue with the size of your images or some other technical glitch. Please let your instructor know right away if you need some help. Then your slideshow is uploaded and visible on Shobi. I hope that all makes sense. And if you have any more questions, please look at Shobi and also email your instructor and they can help you with anything you need. Good luck!